ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, shall we start, ma'am?
Yes, yes, yes.
Sharada, can continue, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes.
A warm afternoon to one and all present here. I'm Sharada, studying BCA third year. I feel privileged to welcome the August gathering on behalf of SDNB Vaishnav College for Women. I welcome our principal madam, Dr. R. Geeta, our speaker, Mr. Gregory Manoj sir, Senior Manager Training, Alsec Technologies Limited. And I welcome our ICT Coordinator, Madam, Dr. N. Priya, Associate Professor, PG Department of Computer Science. And I welcome all the UG and PG final year students. Every endeavor becomes successful only with God's blessing. So, at the onset of the program, let us invoke God's divine blessing through our prayer song.
Satyavritam नेत्रं सत्यात्मकं त्वां शरणं प्रपन्नाः वाणी गुणानुकतने श्रवणौ कथायां हस्तौ च कर्मसु मनस्तव पादयोनः स्मृत्यां शिरस्तव निवास जगत्प्रणामे दृष्टि सदा दर्शनेषु भवत्तनूना नमो भगवते तस्मै कृष्णाय अद्भुतकर्मणे जगत्क्रीडति यो यतः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सत्य.
Now, I request our principal madam, Dr. R. Geeta, for addressing the seminar.
Right. So a warm good afternoon to all of you who are gathered here for this webinar. Our college is a member institute of ICT Academy. Every year, Power Seminar organized by our college in association with ICT Academy gives opportunity for students to listen to resource persons from diversified field on topics related to technology, environment, skills, and current trends in industry. The skill sets needed for students, graduates to be industry ready has changed post-pandemic. Though this phrase is frequently uttered by all professors, all placement officers, all recruiters, but the skill set which is required in the current situation is most dynamic and it has completely changed. So the jobs relevant previously have now become very irrelevant. As Younger India focuses on digital India and made in India platforms, new arenas like data analytics, artificial intelligence, coding, professional accounting, robotics, UX designing, cognitive sciences, etc. have emerged. So in addition to the skills which students do acquire during the course of study, listening to resource persons from industry will also help them to sharpen their skills further. Today's webinar on nurturing the graduates on industry readiness will help students to focus on specific skills and to acquire and to always keep an eye on latest development. ALSEC Technologies is very familiar to our college because many of our students do get placements in ALSEC Technologies, and many of our students are occupying good positions and they're doing very well. So today's webinar by Mr. Gregory Manoj is clearly going to outline what is the additional skill set, what is the different skill set which is required by students during this pandemic. And I'm very sure that our students, they have become more technology oriented, and with this online learning platform, acquainting themselves or improving their skills, whichever is needed by the industry, has become more easier, and it has also become, students have also shown interest in acquiring these skills. So our college management is taking all necessary steps to give the maximum to the students to make them industry ready. So we are eagerly waiting to hear from Mr. Gregory Manoj as to what he's going to talk about, what is the new skill set which is required, so that we can also modify our curriculum so that it is of helpful to the students once they become graduates. So thank you so much. And I also thank ICT Academy who always help us in bringing good resource persons to address our students. It is not only the students who are going to benefit, but we as stakeholders are also benefiting out of it. And I also thank Dr. N. Priya, the ICT coordinator, who has thought about this topic, right? Because this is the most relevant one which students are going to benefit also. And in fact, we would be happy if we get good inputs from students as to how they want us to lead their curriculum into. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I welcome our ICT coordinator, Dr. N. Priya, ma'am, to give the introduction about the speaker.
Thank you, Sharada. Good day to one and all present here. Honorable Chairman, Secretary, Joint Secretary, respected Principal, respected Vice Principals, dear staff, and my dear students. It gives me an immense pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to all of you present here. On behalf of the SDNB Vaishnav, I would also like to express our gratitude to our esteemed speaker who have accepted our invitation to preside over this virtual power seminar on nurturing the graduates on industry readiness in collaboration with ICT Academy. The sole objective of the seminar is to ignite the minds of the students and enhance their involvement in industrial exposure and entrepreneurship. Accordingly, graduates need to equip themselves with relevant industry knowledge for a competitive edge that caters to shifting global and domestic trends. Against this backdrop, we have assembled here to know more about the topic with our eminent speaker lined up for today's seminar. So I would welcome our chief guest, Mr. Gregory Manoj, Senior Manager in Training, ALSEC Technologies, for sharing his views on the pertinent subject. He has completed BA Mechanical Engineer and MBA graduation, and also currently working in ALSEC Technologies Limited as a Senior Manager, training with over 17 years of experience in the training industry. He is a certified lead assessor for 5S by CIA and a certified ISO auditor by TQM. He is instrumental in bringing about changes within the organization which are on par with the best practices in the industry. He played a key role in setting up the training function during ALSEC's expansion plans in Bangalore, Trichy, Bombay, and Delhi, with a natural flair to understand the human potential with a high impact training programs to achieve business results. And he's also the chief editor for the ALSEC's in-house magazine, Beyond Calling. A sought after speaker in the ICT Act circuit, he's a passionate mentor who has addressed multitudes of audiences ranging from students till college management through various seminars. On the behalf of our college, I would again thank Mr. Gregory Manoj for accepting our invitation. And also, I would like to extend my gratitude towards our management, Principal Madam, and the ICT members for encouraging us to conduct a seminar like this today. I'm again thankful to you, ma'am, for your kind support, suggestions, and guidance given to us as and when required. I welcome you all once again to the seminar and hope that you all will have a great time ahead. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request our speaker, Mr. Gregory Manuk sir, to begin the session.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope my audio is clear as well as you're able to see me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're
Okay.
audible.
Thanks so much for confirming that. So at the outset, first, I would like to thank God for making sure that all of us are here in this particular day at this particular time. Why? Because today is a time of uncertainty. And in this very uncertain period, right, there's so much happening around all of us. The very fact that on a Monday afternoon at 3 o'clock, you know how a work day will be for us on a Monday, but luckily I just found the slot to be, just empty. Okay, usually we have a very busy calendar, but the calendar for some reason just got cleared. So I was able to accommodate this session. And of course, you students being here on this day, right, is definitely something of divine providence that's coming our way. So I would like to thank God for the opportunity. I would like to also thank your college management and also the ICT coordinators for putting us together and connecting us in this particular event. So having said that, usually whenever I get a topic to talk about to students, which I've been doing ever since this lockdown started, I always try and find out what is it that the students are looking for, right? Usually I send a pre-session questionnaire to the students, but here with the pace at which things happened and how quickly we finalized and got to this event, I wasn't able to do that. So I'm just here to check a few things before I get started. Firstly, is it comfortable if I speak only in English, or do you want me to switch between my mother tongue Tamil and English? I think the professors and faculty can answer this question if there are lecturers here. Ma'am, I'm sure you know your students better.
Sir, you can be bilingual, sir.
I can be bilingual.
Yes,
Wonderful.
sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Geeta, for confirming that. Wonderful. I'll be able to do that. So நான் பிறந்தது சென்னையில தான், வளர்ந்தது சென்னையில தான். So I'm a proper born and brought up Tamilian. So Tamil is my mother tongue. எனக்கு தமிழ்ல பேருக்கு எப்போ சான்ஸ் கிடைச்சாலும் I never miss it. So அனைவருக்கும் மாலை வணக்கம். So great. That takes my first question out of the way. Second question is, I'm sure உங்க காலேஜ்ல வந்து இதுக்கு முன்னாடி இந்த மாதிரி செஷன்ஸ் கண்டக்ட் பண்ணியிருப்பாங்க. நீங்களும் வந்து you would have attended sessions. I'm sure there could have been even sessions on a similar topic. So உங்களுக்கு இந்த செஷனை பத்தி ஒரு வாட்ஸ்அப்ல ஒரு அலர்ட், right, with the topic of the session, right, getting ready for the industry. What is it that you expect from this session? What are your expectations? Students, I see about I think we have close to 412 participants on this particular call. So I'm wanting to hear. உங்களால unmute பண்ணி பேச முடியலன்னா you can always type it in the chat window. I hope you're aware that there was a chat window. ஏன்னா அதுல வந்து நான் good afternoon ஒரு மெசேஜ் போட்டேன் நான். I usually do that to test if it's working. So it worked. I think even somebody responded to that. So I don't know if it is possible for the students to do that. Are the students allowed to do it, ma'am? Can they ask me questions?
Sir, sorry, sir. Students cannot able to talk, sir. They can only chat in the.
Okay, they can chat. So students, உங்க ப்ரொஃபஸரை கன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணிட்டாங்க, உங்களால அன்மியூட் பண்ணி பேச முடியாதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு. So you can definitely use the chat window. What do you expect from this session? Okay, that is one. My next question is, what is it that you want to, okay, what are the skills we need to be prepared with? Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Anjali. Anybody else who has a question? Okay, let me add another question. What do you want to become in your life? What is your goal in life? I'll put two questions. Kandipa, some of you might have not have got this poster on time. Maybe you didn't have enough time to think about it, right? But I'm sure others, at least the 412 of you, will have something to do. அதாவது என் வாழ்க்கையில நான் இதை அச்சீவ் பண்ணணும், என் வாழ்க்கையில நான் இதை செய்யணும், என் வாழ்க்கையில இதை நான் சாதிக்கணும்னு ஏதாவது வச்சிருக்கீங்களா? Anything. I would be very happy to hear about it. Anjali, do you have any of your friends who are a part of this session? யாராவது இந்த செஷன் அட்டென்ட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்களா? You can give me their names. I'll ask them. Otherwise, it's too difficult to pinpoint somebody in foreign. Yes, sir. Okay, thank you, Anjali. So, அந்த ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் யாராவது ஒரு 2 பேரோட பேர் சொல்லுங்க. சாட்லயே சொல்லுங்க. நான் அவங்க பேரை கூப்பிட்டே கேட்குறேங்க. சப்போஸ் உங்களுக்கு வந்து யாராவது மேல பழைய பகை ஏதாவது தீர்க்க வேண்டியது இருந்துச்சுன்னா அவங்க பேரை சொல்லுங்க. இந்துமதி. Okay, Shiva or Shiva Mohana says wants to get in a very respectable position. Just one moment. Let me open up that. Oh, okay. There are more questions coming in. Okay. Goal is to become an auditor. Should be in a position where we get good influence on people doing business and helping others by earning money. Fantastic. Sai Navina, Mohana Priya. Okay, I think Anjali has given your 2 names. Aishwarya says wants to become an auditor. Fantastic. So you'll have to imagine, now it's 410 people. So now in the கேள்வி கேட்டதுல இருந்து 2 பேர் செஷன் விட்டு கிளம்பிட்டாங்க. Somebody says I want to become a government employee. Beautiful. I think that's Kavi Priya. Okay, Kavi Priya. Fantastic. கேள்வி கேட்கறது அவ்வளவு பெரிய தப்பா? நான் helping others with my own salary. Fantastic, Priyadarshan. Okay. இப்போதைக்கு பார்த்தா என்ன ஒரு 7-8 பேர் சொல்லியிருக்கோம். ஓகே, அகைன் த நம்பர்ஸ் ஆஃப் கம் இன்சைட். ஸோ செஷன் விட்டு காணாம போனவங்க 2 பேர் திருப்பி வந்துட்டாங்க. Girls, what is your ambition in life? What do you want to become? IFS officer, fantastic. Amruta says IFS officer. Beautiful, beautiful. I want to become an IAS officer, says Bashira. Beautiful. Okay, so I have people saying I want to be a government employee. Okay, somebody says I want to be CS, company secretary. Somebody says I want to be an IFS officer. Somebody says I want to be an IAS officer. Somebody says I want to be in a position of influence. Someone says I want to become an entrepreneur. Okay. Kistika says I want to share my father's responsibility. Fantastic, Kistika. Fantastic. Lovely. Government employee. Okay. Keep it coming. All right. Keep it coming. Definitely. I mean, appreciate all of y'all who are sharing your input. And for all those, start my own bakery. Fantastic, Monisha. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I love baking. I love cooking a lot. It's just that I never got to learn it properly. யாராவது குக் பண்ணாங்கன்னா நல்லா சாப்பிடுவேன். Someone wants to be a statistician. Beautiful, beautiful. The reason why I asked this question is, if you see, someone wants to. Okay, Anjali says I want to become a software developer. Okay. So, web designer says Meenakshi. So just keep it coming. The reason why I asked this question is there could be 412 people on this call. Okay, and for the number of responses I've got till now, not many of them. Okay, there are some which are similar, okay, but they are not the same. That is the beauty of it. Each one, okay, each and every one of you, you have your own individual dream. And in a session like this, okay, there are like sample eduthukongla. Though someone who said I want to be a statistician, there are 413 people. Okay, and I think about right now 12 to 15 people would have given me an answer, and in 12 to 15 I don't see any repeat. It's all different. Now if I say which one matches with this, people will raise hands. How many IAS officers, IFS officer, government employee, say company secretary. And you know what's the best part? No one here mentioned I want to be a housewife. So beautiful, right? That is amazing clarity and focus that some of you have. Okay, because why? Housewife is gone. Okay, now they are called homemakers. Okay, even that is considered one of the most challenging assignments somebody could be in, which men, trust me, we put our hands up and we say it's something that we can never ever do, achieve, or become successful in. So if you see that there are so many people, someone says I want to take a job, someone says I want to be an entrepreneur, someone says I want to become in a position of influence. Okay, so there are so many. So இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு diverse audience group கிட்ட நான் வந்து job and job பத்தி பேசுறேன்னா I don't think I'm doing justice to all the other people. So I will touch upon it, but not completely. Okay, the reason why I'm saying this is I am from a job background. Okay? I'm from a work background. My father was a businessman. Okay, so something that I always realized, Okay, a little later on in life, இது வந்து எனக்கு யூஸ்வலா வந்து டக்குன்னு புரியாது. I used to have a lot of hair, so அதனால maybe I thought everything goes through my hair and takes its time to get into my head. Okay, maybe I was a little slow in understanding. When I was, I'm talking about just recently, 5 years back, I read a book, and trust me, that book changed my life forever. Okay, it changed the way I look at things, the way I see the world, and everything. And ever since I read this book, okay, there was a voice inside me which said, had I read this book when I was a student, my life would have been not what it is right now. It would have been something, but definitely not where I am right now. Okay. So they always say this. இப்போ சென்னையில இருந்து டெல்லிக்கு ஒரு ஃபிளைட் ஒரே லைன்ல போகும். You look at the flight, it will take off and go in one straight line to Delhi. Now இந்த இதுல if there is a slight difference, okay, if there is a 1 degree difference, okay, இல்ல ஒரு 1 centimeter இப்படி போகாம 1 centimeter இந்த பக்கம் தள்ளி the flight goes, it will not reach Delhi, it will land somewhere in Pakistan. Okay, so அந்த மாதிரி how far back in your life, if you make a small change to something down into the future, you will be in a completely different destination. It's not that I want to be in Pakistan, it's just that I'm telling you how far I could be from where I am right now. Okay, so always remember, any change you make now in the present will change your future. Okay, anything you are worried about now, எனக்கு ஏன் இவ்வளவு மார்க் வரல, அது இப்போ நடந்த விஷயம் இல்ல, இதோட விதையை நீங்க எப்போ விதைச்சிட்டீங்க. Okay, in the past, and that is what is catching up with you right now. Okay, so always remember, if you want to change your future, start right now. Okay, so this book I read 5 years back told me that, you know what, had I read this book 5 years or maybe 15 years or 20 years back, my life would have been different. But not too late. Let me start right now, and I started 5 years back. Okay, so this book is a wonderful book written by this author called Robert Kiyosaki, and the name of this book is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I don't know how many of you have heard of this book, or எத்தனை பேர் இந்த புக்கை படிச்சிருக்கீங்கன்னு எனக்கு தெரியாது. யாராவது படிச்சிட்டு இருந்தா, would you be able to raise your hands and let me know if you have read this book? Oh, fantastic. There are a few people who are saying, oh, great, that's nice. Okay, so those of you who read the book, you will understand what I'm going to get at. Now, this book beautifully says that there are 4 ways in which a person in this planet can earn their living. அதாவது உங்களோட வாழ்வாதாரத்தை நீங்க உலகத்துல 4 விதத்துல you can manage it. Okay, as a matter of fact, people across the world are doing this, right? Now, the first way is what we call employment. Okay, இப்போ employment in பாத்தீங்கன்னா, a company, we have certain tasks that need to get done. To complete a task, okay, we need the following: we need resources, we need a process, all right, we need some technology, and we need people. Okay, இதெல்லாம் கலந்தாதான் we will get work output ன்னு சொல்லுவோம். Okay, very simple. இப்போ நீங்க கிச்சன்ல எடுத்துக்கோங்களேன். My wife, when she goes into the kitchen, all right, she'll take all the ingredients, which is the resource, all right, and there is a process. Okay, put this first, put this second, and then third, and then follow that process. Technology is, yes, she uses an induction stove, she uses a microwave oven, she uses a gas stove, and she does the cooking. And of course, she is the person. Okay, இப்போ நான் அதே வேலையை போய் பண்ணேன்னா, I will need some supervision. Somebody needs to come teach me what to do and all this, and then yes, I can also achieve it. So in order for a job, a work to get done, you need these following factors. You need people, you need process, you need resources, and you need some technology or knowledge or know-how, whatever you want to call it. So when a company is looking out for people, okay, they always look at people, because everything else the company can buy. People they cannot buy. Okay, you have to go and offer yourself, saying that, you know what, I have some skills that I want to give. So a company will look at 2 things when they hire an employee to come and work for them. First one is something called skill, அதாவது திறமை. ரெண்டாவது is something called will, which is attitude. Okay, உங்களோட மனப்பக்குவம்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. So these 2 things, is what a company will decide or look for in a candidate when they come to employ. So always remember, the higher the skill, the higher your salary. The higher the skill, the higher your salary. The higher your skill, the higher your salary. So this is how it keeps on going. So this skill, there are two parts to it. One is called knowledge, and the other one is called application of knowledge. Okay. இப்போ இந்த knowledgeன்ற விஷயம் வந்து நம்ம படிக்கிற books, okay, the exposure we have to people, all of this will give us knowledge. Now, application of knowledge is when you do something with what you know. Okay, நமக்கு இப்போ சிம்பிளா சொல்ல போனா, I'm sure. Okay, now it's come down to less than 300 people. I'm sorry, 400 people. I see 398. Okay, due to connectivity issues, I think some of them could have gotten disconnected. That's okay. So we have all, for example, namakku, I always do this. When I eat food, okay, I will know that there is something wrong with the food, okay, or something is amazingly good with the food. I will either say the taste is like this, the taste is like that. To such an extent, நம்மளே நிறைய பேர் இருப்போம். சாப்பிட்டோன்னே சொல்லுவோம், இது சரியில்லை, இது நல்லா இல்லை, okay, இது ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்கு. All that we do. Okay. So we have the knowledge of critiquing food. And I'm sure we've also seen videos. எத்தனையோ பேர் இந்த லாக்டவுன் பீரியட்ல சமையல் எப்படி பண்றதுன்னு we would have seen a lot of videos. Now, imagine by looking at these videos, we try cooking. அங்க போனாதான் தெரியும். வீடியோல வந்து அழகா சிக்கன் எடுத்து கட் பண்ணிடுவாங்க. நம்ம அதை எடுத்து கட் பண்ண ட்ரை பண்ணாதான் தெரியும், என்னடா ஸ்லிப் ஆகுது, இப்படி ஃபர்மா இல்ல. வீடியோல பாப்பீங்க, வெங்காயத்தை எடுத்து பியூட்டிஃபுல்லா நறுக்குவாங்க. நம்ம ட்ரை பண்ணா விரல்லாம் கட் ஆகும். As a matter of fact, I've done that. I think I've lost a few fingertips by trying some bad experiments. So this is the big challenge. It is not as easy as it seems. The difference between me, all right, and the future me, who's probably learning to become a good chef, is the number of times I practice doing something. Okay, let me shift to another example. Cricket வந்து நம்ம எல்லாரும் பார்ப்போம். As a matter of fact, டிவில வந்து cricket match watch, IPL or whatever the series is, we watch. Some of us even comment, "Oh, why did this guy play this shot? Okay, why did this delivery come? இதுக்கு இந்த மாதிரி stroke play பண்ணிருக்கோம். Should have sent this player to play now. Should have sent that player to play. Why did he or she drop the catch in the match?" Okay, இதெல்லாம் நம்ம கமெண்ட் பண்ணுவோம். Why? Because we all know the basics of cricket. Cricket bat கொடுத்துட்டு பாலை கையில கொடுத்து ஒரு பால் போட்டாங்கன்னா அடிக்க தெரியும் நமக்கு, அட்லீஸ்ட் whatever. So we all have that knowledge. And we also comment. Expert level, we also defend. We say, no, இந்த பிளேயர் செலக்டே பண்ணிருக்கூடாது, அந்த பிளேயர் இந்த மாதிரி ஷார்ட் பிளே பண்ணிருக்கோம். இதெல்லாம் நம்ம வந்து எக்ஸ்பர்ட் ஒப்பீனியன்ஸ் கேட்கணும். ஆனா அந்த மாதிரி எக்ஸ்பர்ட் ஒப்பீனியன் கொடுக்குற ஒரு ஆளை, you take them, put them in a cricket stadium. Chennaiல we have a wonderful stadium. Take them to our MAC stadium, put them there. Put the helmet on, put the guard, gloves, back pad, everything. Stumps முன்னாடி நிக்க வச்சு, on this side you have Lasith Malinga running up to bowl a ball. Trust me, that person might even faint right there looking at Lasith Malinga. So this is where is the difference between knowledge and application of knowledge. So always remember, 20 years back, 30 years back, even 40, 50, 60 years back, everybody would say, knowledge is power. Okay, இதை ஏன் சொன்னாங்கன்னா, at that time people were not going after knowledge. They wanted people to learn. They wanted people to have a mind that could think. So that is why they always told people knowledge is power. So அதனால நிறைய படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. So அதனால லைப்ரரி எல்லாம் நிறைய கட்டி வச்சாங்க. Today there's a lot of access to information. But in today's world, it's not the same. Application of knowledge is power. There's a huge change in that. So today, knowledge is no longer powerful. Application of knowledge is powerful, which is why if you see, biggest achievers are not the most intelligent people. Okay, for example, if you were to go and ask, was our former great president of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the first ranking student in his class? Not quite. All right. So that is why you need to understand. Take a look at Dhirubhai Ambani. What was his educational qualification? Okay. So in the Madri, if you look at it, there are a lot of people, all right, who know how to apply simple things they know. And because they're able to apply those simple things, they are where they are. top influencers in the world. Okay, as opposed to people who know a lot. Otherwise, Albert Einstein would have been, well, the most powerful man on the planet. Okay, so this is the difference between the two. This is something that I realized. Okay, so here is where we come to the fact. So when you come in for a job interview, or what a company is looking for, is the company is looking for two attributes in a candidate. First is skill. அதாவது இந்த வேலையை செய்யறதுக்கு உங்களுக்கு talent இருக்கா, திறமை இருக்கா? Are you able to do it? So to check that, they conduct tests, they conduct assessments, all right, to check your knowledge, and they'll give you mock scenarios, tests if you're going for a software job. And then when they know that yes, you can handle it, they'll give you the job. The second thing they'll check is attitude. Okay, your mindset. Would you be able to face challenges? Would you be able to perform under pressure? So all that is to check your attitude. Is there a match? You get your job. Now this route is a route that is taken by 95% of people in the world. Okay, அதாவது உலகத்துல 95% மக்கள் who are earning their livelihood take this route of employment. Okay, so you start off as a fresher, you acquire skills. Okay, sometimes you don't even need formal knowledge. Okay, நீங்க ஸ்கூலுக்கு போய் படிக்கணும்னு அவசியம் கிடையாது, காலேஜ் போய் படிக்கணும்னு அவசியம் கிடையாது. Just because you do a job, okay, you've learned it the hard way, and because you are good at it, your knowledge is accepted. Okay, there are so many well, you could say musicians, okay, who have not gone for music classes at all, who took up their passion for music, all right, as a hobby, cultivated that hobby, and today they are famous musicians of the world. Okay, again, no formal college, they didn't go to any music college, they didn't pass any exams, they didn't write any degrees or whatever it is. But just because they had that interest and they applied, they kept on applying their knowledge. So this is another way. So that's what companies sometimes look for. If you have that experience, they might even sidestep qualifications to get people into certain slum jobs. Okay, so famous Indians who have put India in the global market of being a preferred choice when it comes to the job market, Indra Nooyi, okay, who was again heading Pepsi, right, and South Indian lady, okay, she, as a matter of fact, is from Chennai, right, and again, you see, is heading the world. Again, famous Indians who have put India on the global map. You have Satya Nadella, Sundar Pichai, okay. So there are people like this. They are all, again, taking the employee route and are doing whatever it is. Now, the second way, according to that book, is what is called self-employment. Okay. Now, self-employment is where you are good at doing something and you say, well, I'm good at it. I don't choose to offer my services to a company and work with them forever. I will do it on my own with whoever I want. As a matter of fact, today the world is shifting to it. The US and other countries have already gone into it. India is slowly getting into it. It's called the gig economy. All right. If you are good at something, you don't have to work for somebody. You can work for any number of people. You offer your services online. Anybody wants to use your services can use it. Okay. Starting off, let me give you an example. A.R. Rahman. A.R. Rahman is a musician. Started off by playing keyboard and then went on to become better and better. Today, A.R. Rahman can choose who he wants to work with. And he can choose anybody from across the world who comes and approaches him saying, you know what, can you compose music for us? Okay. And you have lawyers who practice on their own who do that, doctors who practice on their own who are self-employed. Okay. Hairstylists, beauticians, fashion designers, all right. You name it, these people are there. Okay. So today, this segment is getting big, and the number of people in this particular segment is close to 3% of the world's population. 3% of the world's population, அதாவது 3% மக்கள் இந்த குரூப்ல இருக்காங்க, which is what we call self-employed individuals. So as a self-employed people, you call yourself a consultant. You charge people by the hour. Okay. As opposed to getting a monthly salary, you get to choose as and when you want. You can plan everything. But remember, everything is dependent on you. Okay. அதாவது A.R. Rahman வந்து music compose பண்ணலன்னா அவருக்கு யாரும் காசு கொடுக்க மாட்டாங்க. Maybe அவர் compose பண்ண music he'll get royalty. But other than that, unless you do active work, like for example, if I'm a surgeon, only if I do surgery, will I get my salary? Or will I get my, let's say, the fees of a surgeon if I'm a self-employed person? But if I cannot perform my surgery, well, I'm no longer an earning member. Okay, but there is no limit to being a self-employed person. You could work. That's why you see doctors and lawyers. They say the grayer the hair, the more they charge. Okay, and as a matter of fact, the top lawyers in India charge by the minute. All right, every minute costs you a couple of thousands. So a 1 hour session like this with a top lawyer in India will actually dent you by a few lakhs. All right, so that's how they charge. So that is self-employed. Now the next group is what is called entrepreneurs or business owners, right? Now entrepreneurs are people who have an idea and they take this idea and they make it big. They start small and they find this idea something good and then they go ahead and take it bigger and bigger. So famous entrepreneurs of the world, I'm sure you would have all seen them in the news. You have Jeff Bezos, who is the owner of Amazon. He started it from a single 1-bedroom apartment where he was probably posting books online and selling books online. And today, Amazon, as a matter of fact, he is the world's richest man. Okay, grown up in scale that way. Yeah, sorry, America is India. Let me give you a story here. If there's anybody from Madurai, I'm sure if you've ever been to Madurai, Maduraiல வந்து இந்த தள்ளுவண்டி கடை is very famous. Okay, தள்ளுவண்டியில போய் சாப்பிடுறது, you get a lot of different items. So இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு husband and wife couple who had a shop, okay, they were selling idli. They found that they said, okay, let's make some good idlis and give people, all right, so that they enjoy their food. Maduraiல போனீங்கன்னா trust me, எங்க சாப்பிட்டாலும் சாப்பாடு excellent-ஆ இருக்கும். But this one couple decided to do things a little different. Ida Panni, they found that they were getting a lot of loyal customers, and with that started the Murugan Italy shop. Ipo pathina Chennai and even outside India, you have Murugan Italy shops, all right? And that's how it is getting world famous. So in the Madhya, there are so many stories. As a matter of fact, entrepreneur, you can even start as an employee and then move and become an entrepreneur. So let me give you another famous story that happened here in India. Petrol bunkla petrol ஊத்திட்டு இருந்தார் ஒருத்தர் இருந்தார். As a matter of fact, petrol bunkla நீங்களே ஒரு bike எடுத்துட்டு போய் scooty or whichever bike you have or anything, whenever you go to a petrol bunk, there'll be somebody who says எவ்வளவு petrol போடணும், 100 rupees, they'll fill 100 and send you. Now that person working in a petrol bunk every day would see people, students, working professionals, doctors, lawyers, and they would notice people say, as a matter of fact, some people will be carrying a lot of goods in their bikes and trucks or whatever it is. Evening truck and bike empty up, they would have done this. They decided saying that, you know what, why am I working? I should do something on my own. Quit his job as a person filling petrol in a petrol bunk and then started a small business where he would buy rather materials, tuni, wholesale retail level part. The business picked up, and today we know that business as the Reliance group of industry, either through your Geo Mobile or through your Geo Online or through Reliance Petroleum or through all your oil, clothes, whatever it is, somewhere or the other Reliance industry is there in our lives. And it took this business, this is Dhirubhai Ambani, took him to that level where he gave Reliance to his 2 sons, and his eldest son is now the richest Indian in the world. As a matter of fact, he's the richest Asian. All right. So that is how entrepreneurship is. Okay, you can start from anywhere. Start with any concept in your mind and then build it up and take it to a different level. And the final category, as a matter of fact, there could be somebody saying, sir, so you come into what I call the 4th category. All right. This 4th category is called the investor category. So in the category, money will work for you. Okay, you invest money and that money will earn money for you. So you can take your money and invest in a business. You can take money, invest in shares. You can take money and do whatever it is you want. For you, money is like an employee. All right, that employee will earn money for you. Okay, so this is how it works. So when it comes to investing, உலகத்திலே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா there is a person who is an authority in this. As a matter of fact, at one point of time, he was the world's richest man. His name is Warren Buffett. He is an American, right? And as a matter of fact, they say in America, there will be something that you use every day that has Warren Buffett's influence. Warren Buffett is actually an investor. Okay, அவர் ஆக்சுவலா பாத்தீங்கன்னா 13 வயசுல இருந்து he started investing. And இப்போ கூட வாரன் புஃபே கிட்ட போய், அதாவது 13 வயசுல he started investing. And today he is, I think, in the top 5 richest people in the world. Okay, in the likes of Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos and all of that. வாரன் புஃபே கிட்ட இப்போ போய் கேட்கறாங்க. He's about 80, I think 85 or 86 years old. Okay, 86 வயசானவர்கிட்ட போய், and he is again world's richest on the group level. They're asking him, Elon, do you have, Warren, do you have anything that you regret in your life? He says, I think I should have started a little earlier. எப்ப ஆரம்பிச்சாரு? 13 வயசுல ஆரம்பிச்சாரு. And a man who is right now where he is saying I should have started maybe a little earlier. The companies in which he owns shares are companies like Coca-Cola, right? You see Coca-Cola everywhere. அதாவது at one point of time, water dispensing machines இருந்துச்சோ இல்லையோ, we had Coke dispensing machines in so many places. All right, that is how popular and famous is investing. All right, Warren Buffett when it comes to that. Now you may say, okay, இதுல யாராவது இந்தியன் இருக்காங்களா? இப்ப எப்படி வாரன் புஃபே அமெரிக்காக்கு இருக்காரோ, right, அதே மாதிரி there is a person called Canada, பக்கத்து நாடு. Okay, he is called the Warren Buffett of Canada. Warren Buffett, when Warren Buffett says, I am looking at the petroleum industry, everybody will invest in the petroleum industry. If Warren Buffett says, I'm looking at investing in Coca-Cola, everybody will invest in Coca-Cola. So he can decide, right, about what needs to be done. So this is Warren Buffett. So America follows everybody, top people, businessmen in the world will follow Warren Buffett to see what is his advice to people, what business is he looking at, which industry he is focusing on, and they go that way. So இதே மாதிரி பக்கத்து நாடான Canada, there is a person called the Warren Buffett of Canada. His name is Prem Vatsa. He's a South Indian. He studied in IIT Madras, and in the year 1975, he went to America for a job. From there, he migrated to Canada, and in Canada today, he is an investing authority. Okay, again in India, just like you and me. All right. So in the Madri, there are so many different ways in which you could work. Now, some of you will say, what about sports person, Olympians? What category do they come under? All right. For example, you are self-employed when you are a sports person. Okay. You can also be an employee if you play for a certain team. Like, for example, a sports person playing for maybe a particular team, like the Indian cricket team, is an employee of the Indian cricket. Every month they will get a salary. And that will only come as long as they play. Once they say, I cannot play, well, they're no longer in the job. Same goes with the case if you are working, independently by yourself, like how the IPL works. Okay, players don't get to choose which team they want to go with, teams choose. All right, players will say, okay, fine, I like this team, I'll work with this team. Or if they have 2 offers, they'll say, okay, I'll take this offer, whatever be the case. So this is how it works. All right, employment, self-employment, and then of course you have entrepreneurship. And so my friends, what I'm trying to tell you is that all these 4 options are available. Okay, why? Because in the 300 and odd plus candidates நீங்க இருக்கீங்க, இவங்க கிட்ட வந்து employment தான் best, employment தான் ஒரே ரூட் வழின்னு சொல்லியிருந்தேன்னா, then I think I am not doing justice to the topic and to the future of the country. Why? Because all these routes are there in front. As a matter of fact, today there is a huge route that people are taking. As a matter of fact, it's called the social influencer channel. Okay, if you are somebody who is a social influencer, people will pay you for that. இப்போ நீங்க வந்து simple, you'll see Mahendra Singh Dhoni endorsing products. You'll see Virat Kohli endorsing products. You'll see Amitabh Bachchan endorsing products. You'll see Aishwarya Rai endorsing products. You'll see Rani Mukherjee endorsing products. You see Mary Kom endorsing products. You see PV Sindhu endorsing products. Why are all these people endorsing products? Why do companies like Nike, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Complan, Boost, whatever it is, choose these people to go and endorse their products? Why? Because each person, okay, has what is called their network of fans and followers. If Sachin used to say, boost is the secret of my energy, every kid who was playing cricket will hold that cup and say, I want to drink boost. Okay. When P.T. Usha said, well, Complan is the secret of my strength, every athlete who wanted to run held a glass of Complan and said, I will take this. Okay. So that is what, and today that is an industry by itself. Okay. You see people on YouTube making YouTube channels, YouTube videos, people on Instagram. Okay. They are called influencers. இது வந்து ஒரு 10 வருஷம் முன்னாடி இருந்துச்சுன்னா கேட்டீங்கன்னா இல்லவே இல்லை. All right. So these are professionals. You can also become somebody who is called a content creator. You create content on social media, learning content, whatever the content. Okay. I'm sure all of you would have heard about this one channel called the Village Cooking Channel. Okay. One old grandpa and then his, well, children and grandchildren. Okay. 4 boys and 1 old man. That channel, okay, as a matter of fact, it's got the diamond button in YouTube. They earn close to 10 lakhs a month, okay, on YouTube. So in the month, there are diversified streams in which people can set up careers. And you have to evolve. That is the biggest thing. In a situation, if you don't evolve, you get lost out. Okay. Best example one, normally, in the Madari or session is done in a seminar hall. Now, college I would have been invited as a guest speaker for பெரிய auditorium. They would have put me on a stage, me to stand in front of a podium and then address all of you all, maybe with a PowerPoint presentation behind me, or I would have just spoken. But in today's world, the situation is very different. Okay, and no one of us is in the same room. We're all sitting in different places, and this session is happening online. As a matter of fact, for me as a speaker, it's a big challenge. I cannot see anybody. I don't even know your reaction. As a matter of fact, எனக்கு வந்து 382 people in the sessionல இருக்காங்கன்னு தெரியும், but I don't know if the 382 of you are listening to me or not. So imagine if I said I will not adapt to this, because there are so many people, trainers who I know said I cannot talk to a phone, I cannot talk to a computer. I need people in front of me. Now those people are becoming obsolete because the technology is changing, and those who are willing to adapt are the ones who are able to survive. Always remember, உலகம் ஆரம்பிச்சதுல இருந்து change is the only constant thing that's been happening, and every species has been able to survive because we were able to adapt to this, and that is a constant. That is something that is going to happen henceforth. So one of the key skills you need to survive in any of this is your ability to adapt. Okay. இதை வந்து இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர்டா சொல்லணும்னா, your ability to learn and unlearn something. ஒரு விஷயத்தை கத்துக்கணும்னா நமக்கு தெரிஞ்ச ஒரு விஷயத்தை விட தெரியும். Okay, when the old goes out is when the new can come in. For example, this is my coffee mug. I can only fill this mug if this mug is empty. If it is filled, well, I cannot. If it is half full, I can fill it with half. If it is empty, I can completely fill. So this is where your education system comes in. If your education system lena பண்றாங்கன்னா, they train you on something and then they tell you this is the next step, this is the next level, this is the next level, and they keep on increasing it in layers. So that way, whatever you know as old, you have to let go to grab what is coming in as new, and that's how it works. Okay. ஏன் சொல்றேன்னா, நீங்க எந்த வேலைக்கு போறானோ nobody is going to take you the problem. இப்போ நீங்க வந்து கூகுள்லயே போய் சேரலாம். As a matter of fact, IIT-ல முடிச்சிட்டு you could join Google. Google is not going to hire you and say, listen, this is the problem, please solve it. Okay, இப்போ அஞ்சலி நீங்க வந்து let's say you go join a company like Microsoft. All right, Microsoft is not going to say, Anjali, this is my problem, please solve it for me. They will never do that. What they will do is they will train you. They will hire you and they will train you for 6 months, for 1 year, for 2 years, saying this is the problem, this is the work that you have to do, this is the software, this is what you need to do, and keep working. So this goes with anybody who joins the company. right? In the company, in the வேலைக்கு சென்றாலும், they will first give you training. They will teach you the job. They will tell you what you have to do. Then they will see if you are able to do it. And after that, they will go ahead and deploy you on the job. Okay. So here is the challenge with today's education. What you are learning today is an obsolete technology. And the technology that you're going to be working in is not yet been invented. தமிழ்ல சொல்லணும்னா இப்ப நீங்க படிச்சிட்டு இருக்கிற டெக்னாலஜி வந்து உபயோகத்திலே இல்ல. It is gone. நீங்க வேலை செய்ய போற டெக்னாலஜி இன்னும் கண்டே பிடிக்கல. So but you see the paradox and the challenge here. So you may say, why do I have to come to college? Why do I have to learn all this? That is because we want that mental conditioning of you to learn and unlearn. Okay, learn and unlearn. So தெரிகிற விஷயத்த, அதாவது புது விஷயத்தை எப்படி பிடிச்சுக்கிறோமோ அதே மாதிரி பழைய விஷயத்தை விட தெரியும். If you are able to do that, that is why we see, okay, is a person able to get this kind of mark? Is a person able to have? இதெல்லாம் வந்து is an assurance to an employer saying that this candidate in front of me is able to learn and unlearn. Okay. Now the next ability that we look at is something very basic, and that's called communication skills. Okay. அதாவது உங்களுக்கு எந்த விஷயத்தை எக்ஸ்பிரஸ் பண்ணணுமோ அதை வந்து are you able to? Now this is something that is common across all those 4 categories in which I said you could earn a living. Be it an employee, a self-employed, be it an entrepreneur, or even an investor. You need to communicate what's inside your head to somebody sitting across you. If you cannot do that, trust me, it's not worthless at all. Okay, நமக்கு வந்து நிறைய இடத்துல கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கோம். ஒரு விளக்கு இருக்கு, அந்த விளக்கு எடுத்து நீங்க வந்து எல்லாருக்கும் தெரியுற மாதிரி எடுத்து வச்சீங்கன்னா தான் people will get benefit. இதை எடுத்து நம்ம ஒரு டேபிள் கடியிலையோ இல்ல ஒரு கூடை கடியிலையோ மூடி வச்சோம்னா then it's going to be pointless. So that on top and your reach to people is what is called communication. Take any great personality in the world, whether they were highly educated or not that educated at all, if they are somebody who had a sphere of influence in people, it was purely because of their ability to communicate. Okay, be it highly educated people to person who have got no formal education at all, if they are able to communicate, all right, if they're able to effectively communicate, then it will have an influence on people. The communication skill is one very important skill that's required. If a communication skill into one, you can choose the language that you want. Remember, it's a language. Okay, it's not the end of it all. So, and I said it is a skill. Skill it's something that we acquire in our life. நம்ம பிறக்கும் போது நமக்கு எந்த ஸ்கில்லுமே இல்லை. as a matter of fact, நமக்கு தெரிஞ்ச ஒரே ஒரு விஷயம் பசி. ஆல்ரைட், பசி எடுத்தா அழுவோம், பசி எடுக்கலன்னா அழமாட்டோம். That's all we knew. ஆனா இன்னைக்கு யோசிச்சு பார்த்துக்கோங்க, everything you do, you are able to do because you have learned it from somebody. This is how you acquire things. Okay, we as human beings have this nature to learn everything. So இதே மாதிரி you can learn anything. Okay, I have so many proven track records where person with no formal education, அதான் 3ஆம் கிளாஸ் தான் படிச்சிருப்பாங்க, ஆனா இங்கிலீஷ் பேசினாங்கன்னா அவ்வளோ ஃப்ளூவெண்டா இருக்கும். And you would wonder where is this coming from, and they say, you know what, நான் சின்ன வயசுல இருக்கும்போது எங்க அம்மா வந்து ஒரு வீட்டுல வேலை செஞ்சாங்க. So I used to go to that house, and in that house they will all speak in English, and that is how I learned English, by speaking to people in the house, by speaking to the kids in the house, and by watching movies with that person. ஸ்கூலுக்கு போயிருக்க மாட்டாங்க, எக்ஸாம் எழுதிருக்க மாட்டாங்க, டிகிரி வாங்கியிருக்க மாட்டாங்க, ஆனா இங்கிலீஷ் பேசுறாங்கன்னா you are in for a shock. This is skill. நம்ம இதை தான் கன்ஃபியூஸ் பண்ணிடுறோம். Alright, நம்ம என்ன யோசிக்கிறோம்னா, any skill that I need, academic is the way to get it inside, not necessary. Right? Academic is a route to get it inside, a structured route, but there are also other ways to bring skills inside. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's a very important thing. Now, speaking of skills, okay, remember at the start of the session, now what is it that you want to become in life? Okay, so here is where you need to understand. This again is another book that I read. I'll recommend this book to you. Read this book. Trust me, after this book, your attitude towards people around you will change a lot. The name of this book is Copycat Marketing 101, and the author of this book is Burke Hedges. அதாவது நான் ஸ்கூல் காலேஜ்ல படிச்சுட்டு இருந்தபோது எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச ஒரே ஒரு விஷயம், I heard it from a lot of people. Okay, காப்பி அடிக்காத. Okay, copying is bad. If you copy, I'll debar you. As a matter of fact, கலர் ட்ரெஸ் எல்லாம் போட்டு போகும்போது ஏதோ ஒரு ட்ரெஸ் போட்டு போனோம்னு நிறைய பேர் சொல்லுவாங்க காப்பி கேட் கிண்டல் அடிப்பாங்க. ஓகே, ஸோ இதுல இருந்து என்னன்னா, my mind had an aversion towards copy. But when I read this book, it changed completely. அதாவது பெரட்டி போட்டுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்களே, that's what happened to me. It flipped me over. This book says, okay, as a human being, everything you do is because you have copied it from somebody. It was an eye-opener for me. I was like, really? Are you serious? And then I was thinking, okay, what is it that I do? The language I speak is because I copied the language that my parents spoke. ஓகே, எங்க அம்மா அப்பா எனக்கு வந்து தமிழ்ல வாயத்துற ஆ சொல்லு, அம்மா சொல்லு, அப்பா சொல்லுன்னு சொல்லி கொடுத்துருந்தாங்க. நான் தமிழ் பேசுறேன். இதுவே நான் ஒரு பிறந்த குழந்தையா என்னை வந்து சைனா எடுத்துட்டு போயிட்டு விட்டுட்டு இருந்தீங்கன்னா, if a Chinese family had raised me, I would be speaking a different language. I would be eating a different food. So what I speak, what I eat, even the God who I pray to, is because of my community, my environment. The clothes I wear, because of the people around me. My hairstyle. Okay. நிறைய பேர் சொல்லலாம், சார் எல்லாரும் இப்படி சாப்பிடுவாங்க சார், நான் வந்து டிஃப்ரெண்டா இப்படி சாப்பிட போறேன்னு சொன்னீங்கன்னா, ட்ரை, ட்ரஸ்ட் மீ, யூ wouldn't be able to reach your mouth. You can say, sir, I am a right-handed person, but I will be different and use my left hand. There are so many left-handed people who show you how to eat food. நீங்க சொல்லலாம், சார் நான் கையே யூஸ் பண்ண மாட்டேன் சார், கால்ல சாப்பிடுறது எப்படி? There are so many people who can damage. Now you can say, நான் கை கால் ரெண்டும் யூஸ் பண்ண மாட்டேன். There are YouTube videos of people who don't have hands and legs, and they will show you how to lead a normal life, raise a family. So think, ask yourself, நான் பண்ற ஏதாவது ஒரு விஷயம் யாரும் பண்ணாத விஷயமா? Very rarely will one or two sparks come in your mind. Maybe how you do it could be a little different, but it has all been tried and tested by somebody. So this is where something happens, that book. Okay, just as the first thing, first part of the book says that copying is a very good thing. It's like, copying is a very good thing. The next thing the book says is, if you want something in your life, you want money, power, position, health, wealth, influence, jobs, anything, copy it from people who have been successful before you in the same field. And I was like, are you serious? Yes. And they said, you want to test it out? Very simple. இப்போ கிரிக்கெட்ல நல்ல கிரிக்கெட் பிளேயர் யாருன்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா விராட் கோலின்னு சொல்லலாம். You go and ask Virat Kohli, who is your favorite personality? Virat Kohli will say Sachin Tendulkar. சின்ன பிறந்த குழந்தைல இருந்து சச்சினை தான் பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கு. I wanted to be like Sachin. I wanted to play like Sachin. சின்ன வயசுல எங்க அம்மா காம்ப்ளான் வாங்கிட்டு வந்தாங்க, அதை நான் குடிக்கவே மாட்டேன், எனக்கு பூஸ்ட் தான் வேணும்னு சொல்லி பூஸ்ட் ஆட் வரும்போது நானும் சச்சினும் பூஸ்ட் தி சீக்ரெட் ஆஃப் மை எனர்ஜின்னு சொல்லி குடிப்பேன். You go as Sachin Tendulkar. Sachin, who is your favorite personality? Sachin Tendulkar will say either Sir Don Bradman or Sunil Gavaskar. Now, what is common between all these people? All of them are sports persons. All of them are cricketers. And in cricket, all of them are star batsmen. Ask a action hero, who is your favorite personality? They'll say another action hero. Ask a social reformer, who is your favorite personality? They will either say a Mother Teresa or they will say an Abdul Kalam. So this is how it is. So every successful person has a person who is successful in the same field as their role model, because they copy what that person does, and these people go up. இது இன்னும் சிம்பிளா சொல்லணும்னா, உங்க முன்னாடி ஒரு மலை இருக்கு, இந்த மலையை நீங்க ஏறி ஆகணும். You have two options. You can கீழே வந்து you can stand, wait and say, okay, I'm going to climb this mountain. You can climb, try. One day you'll be on top of the mountain. This is called trial and error. The only attitude you need to have is, ஜெயிக்கும் வரை தோற்கலாம். இந்த ஒரு மைண்ட் செட் நீங்க வச்சிட்டு இருந்தீங்கன்னா, this also not mine, I got it from somebody. Okay, if you have that mindset, you would be able to reach the top. Simpler சொல்ல போனா, I'm sure if there are any science students here, you will always understand the invention of the light bulb. Who invented the light bulb? Anybody? Who invented the light bulb? Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you any further questions. Any guesses? Yes, no, maybe? இதை நீங்க ஜோக்கா கூட கேட்டுக்கலாம். Beautiful. Somebody says Edison. Okay, Thomas Alva Edison invented the formula for the filament of the light bulb. Okay, நீங்க ஒண்ணும் இல்ல, அந்த பழைய பல்ப் எல்லாம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா உள்ள you can see the filament, right? அந்த ஃபிலமெண்டோட காம்பினேஷன், கெமிக்கல் காம்பினேஷனை கண்டுபிடிச்சது எடிசன். Now அதை வந்து he was trying different compounds, mixing, trying it out. Okay, and you know how many times he had to try to get the correct formula, the one that works? It's close to 1000 times. இப்போ யோசிச்சு பார்த்துக்கோங்க, நம்ம எத்தனை பேர் நம்ம வாழ்க்கையில ஒரு விஷயத்தை ட்ரை பண்ணி அதுல சக்சஸ் ஆகலன்னு சொல்லிட்டு நம்ம வந்து போச்சுரா விட்டுரு, லெட்ஸ் கெட் ரிட் ஆஃப் இட், இது வேலைக்கே ஆகாது, எனக்கு இது வராது, ஐ எம் a failure, நம்மள நம்ம ஒரு கீழ் அடிச்சிடும், and then we go on. Imagine Thomas Alva Edison was trying 1000 times. Okay, simple. உங்க வீட்டு முன்னாடி ஒரு மரம் இருக்கு, இந்த மரத்தை ஏற ட்ரை பண்றீங்க, ஒரு தடவை ஏறுறீங்க, doesn't, you come down, you keep on trying. 10 தடவை ட்ரை பண்ணீங்கன்னா பக்கத்துல இருக்கவங்க எல்லாம் பார்த்து சிரிப்பாங்க, லூஸ் ஆயுது, மரத்தை ஏற ட்ரை, அதான் வரல, இல்ல விட்டுற வேண்டியது. 100 தடவை ட்ரை பண்ணீங்கன்னா உங்க வீட்டுல இருக்கவங்க வந்து உங்களை கூப்பிட்டு போயிடுவாங்க, வேண்டாம் வீட்டுக்கு வா, உள்ள உட்காரு, உனக்கு மரம் தானே ஏறணும், நான் ஒரு மரத்தை கூப்பிட்டு போறேன், அந்த மரத்தை ட்ரை பண்ணாங்க. Imagine you're trying to climb up a tree 100 times. உங்களுக்கே உங்க மேல சந்தேகம் வரும், நான் லூசா, டெய்லி வந்து இந்த மரத்தை ஏற ட்ரை பண்றேனே முடியலையே, ஆனா திருப்பி திருப்பி வர்றேனே, எனக்கு என்ன பைத்தியம் பிடிச்சிச்சா? இட்ஸ் வெரி close to 1000 times. So remember, if you can try like that, trust me, you will become successful. And when they asked him, what made you continue after so many failures? He just said, I found so many ways not to make the filament of a light. That's all. That was his attitude. Okay, if you can have that attitude, you can take this method of trial and error, and trust me, you will succeed. That is guaranteed. The second route is, நீங்க மலை கீழே இருக்கீங்கல்ல, கொஞ்ச நேரம் வெயிட் பண்ணுங்க. Somebody will come down. Ask that person, where are you coming from? ஓ, இந்த மலை உச்சில இருந்து வரேன். அப்படியா, எனக்கு அந்த மலை உச்சி போகணும், எப்படி போகணும்? இதே இந்த ஒத்தடி பாதையிலே போமா, மலைக்கு போயிடுவார், உச்சிக்கு போயிடுவார். That's all. So when you see somebody successful coming down, all you have to do is follow their route of success, and you will reach the top of the mountain. And this is the success plan. And this is what you have to do. So now comes the big question. Where is that going to apply? So my first question that I asked, I think with this I'm over, the time is almost 4 o'clock. Here, all you have to do is, this is where you use social media. I'm sure all of you are there on Facebook, all of you are there on LinkedIn, all of you are there on Instagram. But I take Facebook and LinkedIn. These are the two important things. Facebook and LinkedIn la poi unga school, unga college பேரை போட்டு சர்ச் பண்ணுங்க. சர்ச் பண்ணீங்கன்னா அதுல, okay, firstly, I hope you have a profile on Facebook and you have a profile on LinkedIn. Okay, because this is modern. நான் இருக்க காலத்துல வந்து Facebookல இருக்கணுமா, எதுக்கு, வேஸ்ட். But today it is a necessity. Okay, and if you haven't adapted to that change, trust me, the world is going to move a little faster than you. Okay, so Facebookல போய், like, or LinkedInல போய் உங்க ஸ்கூல் இல்ல உங்க காலேஜோட நேமை போட்டு சர்ச் பண்ணீங்கன்னா, whoever has got that institute behind their name, all their names will appear. அதுல பாருங்க, ஓ, இவங்க வந்து இந்த கம்பெனில இருக்காங்க, இவங்க ஐஏஎஸ்ல இருக்காங்க, இவங்க ஐஎஃப்எஸ் இருக்காங்க, இவங்க ஐபிஎஸ் தான் இருக்காங்க ஆபீசர். ஓகே, இவங்க ஆர்மில இருக்காங்க. Oh, this person is a sports personality, this person is a doctor, this person is an engineer, this person is a scientist, this person is a YouTuber, this person is a fashion designer, whatever it is, like a menu catalog, it will come in front of you. There you can choose your role model. You can say, oh, I want this job, I want to be in this country. Oh, you want Australia, I want to go to Australia. You US, this person is there in Switzerland, wherever it is. It is like a menu card where you can choose what you want. The moment you see people who are doing what you want to do in your life, immediately send them a friend request and a message saying, hi, okay, I see that you and I studied in the same school or same college. I am studying in this year. Which year did you graduate? The moment they see that message from you, people will say, hey, you're still studying there. Fantastic. First, tell me, is this tree still there? College in the Mara no irka. All right. Illa in the ma'am, principal irkanga. In the HOD irkanglan first kepanga. Hey, irkanga. Oh, fantastic. She was such a wonderful teacher. If you meet her, please send my regards. That is how they will connect. Then you tell them, you know what? I was just going through LinkedIn and I saw your profile. Okay, I'm very impressed by you. Okay, you are like a mentor to me. You are like a role model. I want you to give me some advice and guidance. And after that, whatever you tell them, you know what, I'm planning to come to this country. I'm planning to join the company where you're working right now. I need some advice. I need to know how to do it. And whatever they tell you is that success path. Now, the what's the path to go right on top of the mountain. That is what they will do. And if you walk in it, trust me, you will reach on. Okay. So that is what I do. If you come and ask me, sir, how to become an IAS officer? Well, I'm not an IAS officer. The only thing I can do is I can show you, you know what, that is an IAS officer, follow that one. Because earlier, I used to be somebody who could give expert advice on topics which I didn't know anything about. But now, I've become humble enough to accept the fact that I'm not an expert. Okay. Yes, I'm from the training industry. I know the value of training. I know the value of skill. But I also understand the importance of ignorance. Okay, it is better to be ignorant and say, I don't know. You can go and ask that person, and that is something that I do. So in the lockdown, I said, how can I equip myself to become a better version of me? Is when I considered the opportunity of entrepreneurship. And I said, the next thing, because I'm at a level of leadership in the business where they are asking me to think like the boss. Think like an owner. Think like you own your business. You own your process. What would you do? How would you take strategic decisions? So I knew that as an employee, I will not have exposure to that, which is why I am learning how to be an entrepreneur. Okay, through a forum where there are people teaching what are the skills required to be an entrepreneur, how to think like an entrepreneur, how to work like an entrepreneur. So if any of you is interested in that, you can connect with me. I will share my contact details with people. You can definitely reach out to me. It's very simple. You can look up my name on LinkedIn and even on Facebook. And I thank my parents for this. I am the only person with the name Gregory Manoj as a combination. There is no other Gregory Manoj in the world as far as I know. There are a lot of Gregory, there are a lot of Manoj, but never a Gregory Manoj. So it's very easy to find out. You can reach out to me. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to help you out. Right? So I thank the college for giving me this wonderful opportunity. I also thank the students for having participated. I thank all of you who responded to my questions. This goes all the way from Anjali, who jumped with the first response to the question, to Priyadarshini, and then I think we have Mahalakshmi, then Pradusha. The names are just going on and on. Thank you all for making the session lively. And like I always say, stay positive and test negative for COVID. Valga Valamudan, Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening speech on nurturing the graduates on industry readiness. We shall now proceed to the question and answer session.
Okay, by the way, my mug says something. It says, dreams don't work unless you do. So if you have any dream in your life, remember, you have to work towards your dream. Okay, it will not come to you.
Sir, one of the participants, Nandini R, has asked the question, sir. If you are not able to achieve one thing, how long we can try that to achieve, as everything now has a limit?
Okay. Well, they say everything has a limit. That limit is decided by you. Okay, success, I'll tell you this. Success is like this. God has done this. If you believe in God, then take my example with God. Or if you don't believe in God, then take it as nature. Okay. Everything you want in life has a price. It's like going into a supermarket. If you go supermarket, you will find a bottle of juice, you will find a bag of chips, you will find a box of biscuits. Everything has a price. இப்போ அந்த ஜூஸோட விலை 10 ரூபாய்னா நீங்க 10 ரூபாய் கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா தான் the juice is yours. You can't go tell the shopkeeper keep 9 rupees and give me that. You can't go tell the shopkeeper keep 50 rupees and give me this 100 rupees packet worth of chips. They will never. And that's the same thing. If you pay the price, success is yours, guaranteed. This is the rule. The only problem is we don't pay the price that's required. So if you talk to people, as a matter of fact, this is where I always say, getting exposed to the right kind of people works a lot. Okay. Swami Vivekananda is ரொம்ப அழகா சொல்லிருப்பாரு. He said that a drop of water falling from the sky is pure. If it falls into the ocean, it becomes salt water. கடல்ல வந்தா உப்பு தண்ணியாகும். If it falls within, to a lake or a river or a stream, it becomes fresh water. இதே water, if it falls into a gutter, சாக்கடையில வந்துச்சுன்னா அழுக்கு தண்ணியாகும். If it falls on a lotus leaf, it will shine like a pearl or a diamond. So you are a product of your environment. Now, நிறைய பேர் என்ன பண்ணிருப்போம்னா, we have seen, okay, successனா கிரிக்கெட்ல போய் சும்மா பேட் எடுத்து 2 சுத்தி நம்ம அடிச்சோம்னா we'll become successful and we'll become popular. But that's not the case. Those of you who wanted or who watched the movie, right, about Sachin Tendulkar, about Mahendra Singh Dhoni, every cricketer in the real life will understand the struggles that they have gone through. It's called the iceberg effect. ஒரு பனிக்கட்டி, ஒரு iceberg எடுத்து நீங்க தண்ணியில போட்டீங்கன்னா, what you see above the water is little. It's what is called the success. That's what the whole world sees. But what the entire world does not see is what is there underneath, and that is close to 90% of it. That is all the struggles, the hardships, the failures, and everything that they've seen. All right. And what comes on top is what's successful. நிறைய பேர் என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னா, only இந்த சக்சஸை பார்த்துட்டு நம்ம ஒரு கொஞ்ச நாள் பண்ணா இதாயிடலாம்னு சொல்லிட்டு. But it's a lot more different. So this is where books help you. The word BOOK, I will expand it to best of others' knowledge. So when you read a book, okay, about any great personality of yours, a role model of yours, that book is like your own personal tuition center, coaching class, where that person's life will teach you of all the challenges they went through to become who they are. I hope that answered the question.
Yes, sir. And also
Okay.
another question from Nandini. According to you, in this pandemic, what is the one main skill we should have in order to get a job, sir?
Okay. So if you are still focused on the job, the skill that you need to have is experience. Now, some of you will say, what? How can I gain experience? Let's say, if unga college there are a lot of people. Okay, you are applying for a job interview in my company, Alva Technology. Now everybody comes. Okay, I meet 400 guys. We don't have a problem. We have a huge appetite for growth. Right? As a matter of fact, we have huge hiring numbers right now. We just got off a strategy meeting where they said next month we need to hire 1,300 people into our company. Okay, and we are firing in all our offices, Bangalore, Noida, and also Chennai, for getting these numbers. So I am doing the interview, and you're sitting in front of me, and you're telling me, sir, this job requires communication skills. I got 80 marks in English in 10th standard, 90 marks in English in 12th standard. Okay, in college, I've attended so many training programs in English, and even in college, my English marks was 92%. All right. And I've attended training programs, even a workshop conducted by your own training manager, Mr. Gregory Manoj, on communications. 400 people come and say. But imagine out of that, there are a few people who come and say, I've attended this training program on communication skills, and using that, I've started my own YouTube channel. And on my YouTube channel, I've uploaded 10 videos where I talk about current topics. This is the link, please check it. So you tell me, who will I give the job to? Somebody who says I have all the knowledge, or somebody who says I have applied the knowledge that I have gained? It's the person who applies that knowledge.
The
Okay.
second,
So நீங்க சொல்லலாம் நான் web development course attend பண்ணேன், app development course attend பண்ணேன், but a person who comes and shows me this is the app that I've developed and it is there on Play Store. This is the website I developed for my dad's business. Okay, that tells me that you are somebody with whatever knowledge you have. It could be right, it could be wrong, it could work, it could not work. But when I know that you can apply everything that is there in your mind into something there in front of you, then I will say the more I give you here, the more output I will get. That gives me confidence that I can give you a job. Okay, today that is the one skill we are looking. Remember I told you, Ninga vanda odne we are not going to give you the job. We are going to train you on what you have to do. But knowing that you can apply everything that you know is a big booster for me to say, I want to give this person the job. Yes, Bashira, any other questions?
no, sir. Thank you. Thank you for answering all our questions patiently, sir.
Thank you so much, Bashira, for being a wonderful host or a co-host for fielding all these questions. I think you're doing a fantastic job. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir. I now call upon Mrs. S. Jeevita ma'am, Assistant Professor from the Department of BCA, to present the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Bashira. Good evening, all. As all good things come to an end in life, so is a seminar. On behalf of SDNB Vaishnav College, I take this opportunity to propose the vote of thanks to those who have directly and indirectly contributed to this seminar on nurturing the graduate on industrial readiness, organized by our industries, ITC, along with our college. At the offset, I thank our resource person, Mr. Gregory Manoj, Senior Manager, Training in Alsec Technology Limited. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence, sir. We are also thankful to our management and our principal madam for the great support. A special thanks to our organizing secretary, Dr. N. Priya, Associate Professor and ICT Coordinator, Union member of staff and students, and teaching and non-teaching staff for their constant support and coordination. Our heartfelt thanks to our students for active participation. With these warm words and a kind message, we move to the end of today's seminar. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am.
So thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you, sir. It was a wonderful lecture, not lecture, right? Wonderful thought to our students, sharing of thoughts to our students.
Thank you, ma'am. Glad to know that. Being a student myself, I know what students will go through, especially this hour after lunch. So just thought we'll go off the beaten track and not use a PowerPoint presentation. So I hope the students found it useful. Even if there are a few who got a takeaway from this, I'm so happy and glad. So thank you for the wonderful work you're doing. And I'm sure your college is going to do really well. So best wishes to Vaishnav College for the wonderful work.
Thank you. And this would be available in our YouTube channel also. So, and I hope students would be viewing your thoughts at a later time also.
All right. Most welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.